Once upon a time, there was a vast kingdom ruled by a king and a queen. They lived happily, but one thing made them sad. They had no child. They prayed every day, hoping for a child to love and to inherit the throne. Finally, their patience was rewarded when the queen gave birth to a beautiful baby girl. The joy of the king and queen was immense, and they decided to hold a grand celebration to commemorate the birth of the princess. The king invited all the fairies in the kingdom to bless the baby princess. Among them were 7 good fairies. However, the king had inadvertently forgotten to invite an evil witch, a terrifying and powerful sorceress. The celebration was grand and splendid. The fairies took turns bestowing wonderful gifts upon the princess: perfect beauty, intelligence, kindness, musical and dancing talents, and many other virtues. But when it was time for the 7th fairy to bestow her gift, a terrible event occurred. The evil witch suddenly appeared. Furious for not being invited, she stepped into the grand hall and, with a wicked laugh, declared a dreadful curse. On her 16th birthday, the princess will prick her finger on a spinning wheel spindle and die. The entire palace fell into fearful silence. The king and queen were completely shocked, not knowing what to do. However, the 7th fairy, who had not yet given her blessing, stepped forward and used her magic to weaken the curse. She said, "The princess will not die, but will fall into a deep sleep for 100 years. After that, only a true love's kiss can awaken her." Although the curse had been lessened, the king remained very anxious. To protect his daughter, he ordered all the spinning wheels in the kingdom to be burned, hoping to prevent the curse from coming true. The princess grew up to be beautiful, kind, and intelligent, loved by everyone. Every day, the princess received tender care from the king, queen, and all the people in the royal court. Everyone adored her, and she grew up in happiness and love. As time passed, the princess turned 16 age when the witch's curse was supposed to come true. The king and queen had taken great care to protect her from any danger. But no one could foresee that fate had already been set in motion. On her 16th birthday, while exploring the castle, the princess wandered into unknown parts she had never seen before. As she roamed the long corridors, she found a narrow staircase leading to a tall tower. Upon reaching the top, she saw an old wooden door. She pushed it open and discovered an old woman sitting by a spinning wheel. The princess, having never seen a spindle before, curiously asked the old woman what she was doing. The old woman, who was actually the evil witch in disguise, invited the princess to try spinning the wheel. Without any suspicion, the princess reached out to touch the spindle, and the moment her finger touched it, the curse took effect. The princess fell to the ground and into a deep sleep, just as the witch had foretold. When the princess fell into her deep sleep, the entire kingdom also succumbed to the same fate. The good fairy returned and used her magic to make everyone in the castle fall into a deep sleep as well, from the king, the queen, to the courtiers, chefs, guards. All fell into a deep, dreamless sleep. Even the flames in the fireplaces and the horses in the stables froze in time. Everyone would remain asleep until the curse was broken. Around the castle, thick thorny bush and wild trees began to grow, eventually covering the entire castle, making it disappear from the sight of the outside world. Time passed, and 100 years later, The story of Sleeping Beauty had become a legend. Many had heard of the cursed castle hidden in the dense forest, but no one dared approach. One day, a young and courageous prince heard about the tale and decided to seek out the castle and rescue the princess. The prince set out on his journey and finally arrived at the enchanted forest. Upon reaching the place, he found the way blocked by thick, thorny vines. However, with determination and courage, the prince used his sword to cut through the bush, slicing away the thorns and forging a path into the forest. At last, he reached the hidden castle. Inside the castle, he found everyone asleep. The prince wandered through the great halls, passing sleeping courtiers and guards. Finally, he entered the room where the princess lay on a luxurious bed, still in her enchanted sleep. The princess looked peaceful and breathtakingly beautiful, and the prince could not take his eyes off her. Mesmerized by her beauty, he gently bent down and placed a kiss on her lips. The moment the prince's kiss touched the princess's lips, the spell was broken. The princess opened her eyes and saw the prince before her. She smiled, knowing that this was the true love the fairy had foretold. The entire kingdom awakened from their 100-year sleep. The king and queen rejoiced to see their daughter once more. The princess and the prince fell in love at first sight. They held a grand wedding to celebrate the triumph of love and the reunion of the kingdom. From then on, they lived happily ever after.